How's it, guys? So today I'm going to show you guys how to make one of my favorite dishes of all time. It is the perfect dish to make with leftover chicken. If you've roasted a chicken in the past 2 or 3 days, this is the perfect dish to make with it. It is a chicken tetrazzini, 2 simple ingredients, chicken and tetrazzini. I'm kidding, I don't actually know what tetrazzini is. I don't know where the name comes from, but I will show you guys how to make this very simple dish. If you're tired of making chicken mayo with your leftover chicken, this is the perfect, it's actually a great lunchtime or dinner time dish.
For this recipe, you will need some leftover chicken, a white onion or brown onion or yellow onion or whatever you call this one. The onion's ethnicity isn't that big of a deal. A couple of fungi, button mushrooms are the easiest to get a hold of, but you could really use any. A little bit of garlic, cream, pasta. I normally go with penne, but really any noodle will do the job as long as it can hold the sauce. Some cheese. So they didn't have any parmesan at my local shop, but parmesan would definitely be my first choice. Some herbs, parsley, thyme. Okay, this thyme doesn't look so good. But anyway, there we go.
Not only is this a great dish because you can prepare it with leftovers from another dinner or another lunch, but you can prepare it ahead of time so you don't have to be sweating in the kitchen just before you're about to eat. You set everything up, prep it, and then you pop it in the oven 20 minutes before you'd like to eat. And I'm going to show you guys the rest of the method right now.
You want to start off by chopping your onions into small pieces. And I find the easiest way to do this is to chop your onion in half, peel off the skins, then just circumcise the 2 halves, put some lines down the length of the onion, and then you just chop, and try not to cry. Pop that into a preheated pan with a little bit of butter and make them sweat. Next, you want to finely chop your garlic. A neat little trick to peeling garlic is placing your knife flat on top of the cloves, giving it a little bash, and Bob's your uncle with garlic breath. Have you guys ever seen this? Oh, the garlic clove was pregnant. And then chop. Fill a large pot with water for your pasta and bring it to the boil. Do not forget to salt it. Okay, onions are nice and sweaty. So you can add all your garlic that you precariously balanced on your knife so that you can put it into the pan with one hand. Now's a great time to get your fresh herbs ready. So chop the parsley, pick the thyme, and add them to your pan. While that's going on, separate the stems from the heads of the mushrooms and just ignore the one that's rolled onto the floor. It should be fine. And chop those up into whatever size you like. I usually like leaving the stems whole as a nice little bit of a flavor bomb if you're lucky to get one in your bowl. By the time you're done with that, if you're as pedantic as I am, your onion should definitely be done and hopefully your garlic hasn't burnt yet. Add a little bit more butter if necessary and then try to get all your mushrooms in the pan without any of them revisiting the floor. A little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, and by the time you're done, your water should be at a nice rolling boil. And you can just let that keep rolling while you get your chicken ready. So you can really use any part of the chicken for this, so that's why it's perfect for leftovers, because you're breaking it down into bite-sized pieces anyway. But what we're going to do is we're going to use the leftover bits of the breast and a drumstick. Once you've broken it down, I find it best to just go over it once more with a knife, chopping up the bigger pieces and also just making sure you haven't missed any bone or gristle. And then chuck that into your pan with the other ingredients and add far too much pasta to the boiling water. Once your chicken is just warmed through, this will be the perfect time to add the cocaine. But if you don't have any, a teaspoon of flour will definitely do the trick.
And then you want to cook off that flour taste ever so slightly.
Cream. Now, a cheeky secret ingredient to add a little bit more chicken flavor is a smidge of a cube of chicken stock, but don't overdo it, okay? So you don't actually want to fully cook your pasta or your noodles here, so if you have no idea how to cook pasta, that's perfect. And on top of that, your sauce can also be a little bit runnier than you think it needs to be because everything's going to cook a little bit more when it goes into the oven. Chuck your pasta and sauce into an oven-proof dish, however you see fit. I like to make sure that the sauce is evenly distributed, so I do a couple layers and mix it and whatever, but actually you'll see here my sauce is a bit thicker than I would really like it. Sprinkle some cheese on top. Breadcrumbs are an optional extra as well, but this is where you would definitely want to use the parmesan because it goes super nice. And then preheat your oven to 220 degrees Celsius. You're basically just going to throw that guy in the oven until the cheese is nice and melty. So we got a little bit impatient because we were hungry, so we pulled this out a little bit early and the cheese hasn't completely melted, but it should still be alright. I mean, it's really up to you. Serve yourself a nice big portion in one of those Chinese bowls that everybody seems to have for some reason, and garnish it with a little bit of fresh parsley and some more parmesan.
trust that Sav's opinion is very good. She said mine needed a little salt. There's a bunch of extra tips and tricks that you can do to make it slightly better and adjust it. So I hope you followed those along the way. And if you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, you can pop a little thumbs up on the like button or a subscribe on the subscribe button and then turn on bell notifications. I've done a bunch of other food videos. I'm planning on doing a bunch more. So you can check out that playlist. It's going to pop up somewhere on the screen and there'll be a subscribe button as well for you. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed it and I will check you next time for another Slice of Matt.